Hello everyone, you are welcome to today's lesson. And in today's lesson, we are going to look at the solution to the assignment that was given on correlation and regression when we were looking at this particular topic. Okay, so quickly, just as you can see on your screens, okay, this was the assignment. We are asked to calculate the Spearman's correlation coefficient, which is the same as Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. Okay, for the data below and interpret your results. Okay, so it means the question is 2 in 1. Find the rank correlation coefficient for Spearman's. Then after that, okay, you interpret what your results. So you take note if there is something for you to underline this, then underline Spearman's rank correlation or Spearman's correlation coefficient for you to know that you are supposed to find these two. However, you can choose not to underline, but just be careful you don't lose any marks. Okay, so at this point, this is what we are going to do. Remember I said the first thing that you write is solution. After solution, okay, extract what your data. The data that you are given came in the table form, only that the table is in terms of row, but I've told you when you are extracting, extract it in terms of what? Column. So it means you extract these two columns first. Let me pick the, okay, I'm coming. So let me pick the laser pointer so that you can see it clearly. All right, so you extract the X in column, the Y also what in column. Okay, so then after that, you come and quote the formula. But I've told you immediately you extract, leave a line before you quote the formula because there will always be, you will find the sum. If you come and write this just after, okay, your table line, okay, the next line, you know that it will eat into this. When you are looking for the sum, you wouldn't be able to get a place to write the sum. So always leave a line, okay, before you go and state your formula. However, for me, I move on to the next page. Okay, so I quoted the formula R sub x, which is what? The Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. Okay, and that is equal to 1 minus 6 summation of d squared over n into n squared minus 1. After quoting the formula, remember, I said let the formulas, okay, talk to you. Listen carefully. The formula is trying to tell you that you need, okay, d and a square for you to sum. Do I know d? No, I don't know d. Okay, I need to go and find d. But what is the d representing? The d is representing deviations. But which deviation? You are looking at the deviation of what? Your rank of x, okay, from the rank of y, or your rank of y from the rank of x. Okay, I should say, so your d will always be rank of x minus rank of y. But thankfully, when you read the question, you realize that these values are not ranked values. So it means we have to go and find, okay, the ranked what values, okay, of the x. But you can see that this x is a capital X. Okay, so take note. I think most of you use small x because of the nature of the question that we were dealing with. We're representing, okay, the categories by small x. But here, the representation is not by our own introduction. It came with a question. So it's supposed to be rank of capital X. So capital R sub capital X. Okay, that is for this. The rank of Y, capital R, okay, then sub capital Y. Take note. So those of you who use the small letters, next time I will not be lenient. Okay, so it will come with some sort of penalty. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to rank the X. Okay, so you know, we said when we are ranking, we are going to assign values, okay, in terms of position, 1, 2, 3, what have you. So you start from the biggest, usually, but that doesn't mean you cannot start from the lowest. You can assign the lowest, what, 1, 2, what have you, end up getting the same result anyway. Only that usually we use what? The bigger number. We start with the bigger number. So if you come to the X, okay, the bigger number is 24. So it means 24, you have only one. You assign 1 to it. Okay, that's the biggest number. So the first number. Okay, then we come to the next one will be 23. Okay, so you have only 123. So you assign 2 to it. The next one will be 19. But you can see that the 19, you have 2 of them. So it means the S, you have tied observation. So once you have a tied observation, remember I told you, Okay, there is something that you are supposed to do. We need to go and find the average, okay, of the positions that these tide observations must what occupy. So you can see that we've taken care of the second position. So at the normal circumstance, the third observation you have two. So one should take what the third and what and the fourth. Am I right? Okay, so the third and the fourth. So that means what are we going to do? We are going to sum this position. The third position, which will be 3, plus the fourth position, which will be 4. Then you divide it by 2. 2 because you had two, okay, observations that are tied. So in this case, you are going to get 3 plus what? 4, which will be what? 7 divided by 2, and that will give us 3.5. So you assign this value to each of them. So 19 will be 3.5, 19 will be 3.5. Now you can see that the third and the fourth position has been taken. That's what you use in finding your average. So the next position automatically becomes the fifth position. So the fifth position will be occupied by the next observation, okay, biggest observation, which is what? 16, and that will be 5. Followed by the last one, which is what? 12. That will be 6. Okay, you come and do same for the rank of y. Okay, so the rank of y, let's go and look at the bigger or the biggest value. If you look at the y values, okay, the y values, the biggest value is 22. And you can see another 22 here. So it means your first position and the second positions, okay, actually there is a tie, or the first position there is a tie. So we need to go and assign values. Okay, and we know whenever you have a tie, the value that you assign will be the average of the positions. Okay, the average of the position. So the position will be first and second. So it will be 1 plus 2. Okay, all over 2 because you have two observations that are tied. And that will give us what? 1 plus 2 will give us what? 3. Divided by 2 give us 1.5. So you assign 1.5 to each, okay, of the 22 that you have there. Then it means first and second position gone. So the next position automatically will be 10. So let's look at the observation. So the next one will be 20. So that will occupy them. That will be assigned 3. After 20, what should be the next one? 18, and that will be what? 4. Only one. After 18, what do we have? We have 14. That will be 5. Okay, the next will be what? 9, and that will be 6. So it means we have our rank values. And take care. Okay, all that you are going to do here, okay, you know, will depend on your rank of X and rank of Y. So if any value is wrong, you are doomed. So if you are taking your time, you are being extremely careful in terms of your rank, okay, values, please don't worry. That is very important. That is key. It holds a particular key to your future. Immediately one of them, any of them is wrong, you are doomed. So take your time and get the rank values right. And I believe you agree with me, especially those who had some of the values wrong, you know, the future will be very bleak. Okay, so at this point, what do we do? Once we know the ranks, we come and find the difference, and that will give us the D. Okay, so D will be equal to rank of X minus rank of Y. So it will be 3.5 minus 6, and that will give us what? Minus 2.5. Okay, 1 minus 1.5, that will give us negative 0.5. 6 minus 3 will give us 3. 2 minus 5 will give us minus 3. 3.5 minus 1.5 will give us 2. 5 minus 4 will give us 1. Okay, then what do? We are going to square this. So calculator work, or you can basically use your head, especially for the whole number parts because they are smaller values. Okay, if there's that you want to use your head, you can, but you want to use your calculator, it's allowed, but you can equally use your head. You should know 2.5 squared, negative that squared will give us this. This also squared will give us this. So now we can sum, and if you sum, we are going to get 29.5, 0 or 0.5. So once you know the summation of the d squared, you are in a comfortable lead. You also need your n from the formula, and we know we said the n will be the number of paired observations. So your paired observation will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So our n is 6. Okay, so this will be equal to, now that you know all your parameters, you come and substitute. So it will be 6 into your sigma d squared, which is 29.5, all over 6 into, and you can see the n is 6. Okay, then 6 squared, which is your n, minus, so n squared minus 1. Okay, here, okay, some of you couldn't see that you can cancel this. Okay, so 6 here can cancel the 6. So in effect, your numerator here will be 29.5. Your denominator will be 6 squared, which is what, 36, then minus 1, and that will give us what, 35. Okay, so from here you use your calculator, and I know that if I use my calculator, I'm going to land at my result. So at that point, I can draw my conclusion. So therefore, R sub x is equal to what you have here. But you use your calculator, you have to approximate, and your approximation should be 4dp, remember. Okay, so failure to indicate the approximation here, okay, will cost you the final, okay, mark, because I've told you times, okay, without, okay, normal. Okay, that anytime you approximate, don't forget to indicate your approximation. So the first part of the question dealt with. The second part, interpret your result. Okay, so we are going to draw the conclusion for the second part too. Okay, so therefore, and we know this lies between 0 and 2. And 0 and 2, the interpretation was very weak. By 0, this one that you have here is positive. So there is a very weak positive either relationship or correlation between x and y, then that will also give you a1. Okay, and when you come to the table, any wrong values here will be minus half. So minus half for each error. Okay, take note. But if you got everything right, you have to get the total, okay, 5 marks that you have here. Okay, so the grand total will be what? 10 what marks. Okay, take note. So whatever your score is, okay, you write it over the total score, which is 10, on top of your first page, and it should be boldly written. Okay, and when you are capturing that, to make sure you capture everything, okay, for me to see. Okay, so on that note, this will be it for, okay, the lesson. Okay, all right, before I draw the curtains down, Prof. Jirel.
I wanted to ask the last sentence. Can you just say the rank is very weak?
The
Rank is very weak.
it's not the rank. Oh. Okay, the rank will help you to determine the relationship between the observations or your paired observations. So you are actually trying to determine the relationship. So not the rank. Only that you use the rank to determine the relationship, the interpretation of the relationship. You get it? So if you write that, you are wrong.
Okay.
You get my point? It's not the rank that is weak, it's the relationship that is weak. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So usually we are talking about the rank is telling you the degree of the relationship, and we have a very weak degree. Okay, so the degree is weak. So any rank value, the rank value is the Spearman's rank correlation coefficient. The coefficient is telling you, okay, the degree of the relationship. Whether the relationship is weak, very weak, strong, moderately strong, and what have you. Is it clear now?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. Prof. Antoniette.
Mr. Hackman, please, what if you didn't draw the conclusion for the first one?
Which one?
Please, the R sub S is equal to 0.12.
Antoniette, I mean, you know that. This one there, I don't know whether you want to hoodwink me. You know that you are supposed to draw your conclusion. As for this one there, you've been with me for a while. So it shouldn't come from you, my prof. You get it? So if you don't draw your conclusion, you won't get a conclusion mark. I want to encourage you to always draw your conclusion. Okay. All right. I saw another hand up here. Okay. All right. Okay. So, Joel, is your hand still up?
Yeah, I wanted to the part where you wrote the fraction minus 1 minus the fraction. Can the fraction can you write straight away the decimal without the fraction?
This one?
Yeah.
You move from here straight away to the decimal.
Yes.
No. Okay, don't do that. If you simplify, remember I told you anytime you have square, make sure you work out the square before you do any other thing. You remember I've said that?
Okay.
Okay, so make out. So you don't use your calculator. So did you cancel this? You didn't, right? You used the whole of this, your calculator to do the
Yeah.
whole of this. And that gave you decimal, is that not it?
Yes.
The decimal, was it exact?
It was decimal with four decimal places.
So was it exact or you approximated?
Yes, I approximated, but I got the same answer.
Yes, you get the same answer. I'm not saying, but I'm just trying to tell you something that if you approximate this, when you come here, you come and approximate again. And remember, I've told you, reduce your number of approximation. How many approximations did I do in my presentation?
4.
No, how many? I didn't say, I
Oh,
did
okay,
only
okay,
one
okay, okay.
approximation, right?
Yeah,
But you would do
yeah.
how many approximations?
2.
2. You get it? So reduce your number of approximation, basically. You get my point.
Okay.
Other than that, the more you approximate, the more you move away from the actual answer.
Okay.
Okay, great. Okay, so let me see. Prof. Hillary, okay, please send me hi on your assignment submission platform so that I can easily pick and address your major concern. I remember I told you to, some of you to draw my attention to. But before I do that, let me bring the curtains down so that I will do that one. Okay, it doesn't eat into the time of this. Okay, so on this note, if you don't have any outstanding issues, okay, I would like to thank you for your time, for your attention. God bless us all.